Hey there, college football fans. Grab your snacks and settle in, because we've got an exciting one for you today. Ohio State just showed the world what they're really made of in their thrilling college football playoff victory over Tennessee. And I'm not just talking about the big plays or the impressive win. I'm talking about a brand new catchphrase that's already buzzing across the college football landscape. So let's break it all down and talk about how Ryan Day might just be turning his critics into believers. And, hey, before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Let's get this conversation going. Alright, now let's dive into what went down in Ohio Stadium on that cold Saturday night. All day long, a new catchphrase for Coach Ryan Day. So, here's how it all went down. Ohio State was back after what many considered the most embarrassing defeat of Ryan Day's career, the loss to Michigan. If you're not aware, that loss was a gut punch, and many fans were quick to start questioning everything. Ohio State fans, who were used to dominating the Big Ten, found themselves suddenly on the defensive, wondering if Ryan Day could actually take this team all the way. But then came Tennessee, with a loud, rowdy, and very orange crowd packed into Ohio Stadium. Ohio State needed a big bounce-back performance. And boy, did they deliver. So, back to the catchy new phrase. In the midst of all the excitement, Jack Sawyer, a senior leader on the team, pulled Coach Ryan Day close and said, "All day long." Now, Sawyer might not take credit for coining this one. That honor goes to Ohio State's media relations manager Jerry Emig, but Sawyer certainly liked what he heard. "I go to war with him any day," Sawyer said about Coach Day. And after watching how the Buckeyes fired on all cylinders in their 42-17 blowout of Tennessee, it's easy to see why. For Sawyer, Day's leadership was everything, and if anyone doubted that Day could rise from the ashes of that Michigan loss, Saturday night gave them a lot to think about. The Ohio State showdown. Buckeyes roar back. Now, this wasn't just a win, this was Ohio State showing up and showing out. The Buckeyes were on fire from the moment they hit the field. And it wasn't just a win against a solid Tennessee team. It was a statement. Tennessee fans had come into Ohio Stadium with hopes of taking over the place. Thousands of Vols fans filled the stadium, painted in their trademark orange, and the energy was almost palpable. It was an odd atmosphere with so many visiting fans making noise, even influencing Ohio State's first drive, where they were hit with a false start penalty. Tennessee fans thought they had it in the bag, but Ohio State had other plans. Just 2 plays after that early penalty, Jeremiah Smith caught a beautiful touchdown pass from Will Howard, and that set the tone for the entire game. The Buckeyes weren't going to let Tennessee control the vibe at Ohio Stadium. Not on Ryan Day's watch. Ohio State went on to score touchdowns on their first 3 drives, leaving Tennessee fans frustrated and heading for the exits long before the game was over. They thought they were going to take over this place, Howard said about the Tennessee fans. And we showed them pretty quick that we weren't going to let that happen. And let's not forget the crowd at the end of the game. Those Ohio State fans who'd been booing just 2 weeks ago after the Michigan loss were now chanting, "SEC. SEC," in a mocking tribute to their victorious team. Ryan Day, after all the heat he'd taken, had his moment of redemption. He showed the world that he's not going anywhere, and that he has his team's full support. Ryan Day's big moment. Will this be his breakthrough year? Alright, let's be real for a second. Ryan Day has been in the spotlight for a lot of tough reasons. After Ohio State lost to Michigan, again, a lot of people started asking some serious questions. Is Day the right coach to lead this program to a national championship? Could he get Ohio State over the hump? Or was it just going to be more of the same? With the college football playoffs' first-round win over Tennessee, though, Day took a big step toward proving his critics wrong. And there's no doubt that Ryan Day's biggest moment could be coming soon. Ohio State still has a tough road ahead, with their Rose Bowl matchup against Oregon looming. But if Day can pull this one out, it might be the breakthrough he's been waiting for. Sure, Kirby Smart at Georgia has won 2 national titles. And yes, Dan Lanning at Oregon is another rising star who'll give Day a tough challenge. But don't sleep on Ryan Day, especially when you consider the sheer talent of Ohio State's roster. As Jack Sawyer said, he's the best coach in the country, in my eyes. And if the Buckeyes keep rolling like they did against Tennessee, we might be talking about Day as a national champion coach sooner rather than later. Ohio State's game plan versus Tennessee. Aggression pays off. Now, let's talk about the game plan. Ohio State wasn't just relying on talent, they came with an aggressive strategy that caught Tennessee off guard. This was a masterclass in play calling from Ohio State's offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly. After the disappointing loss to Michigan, Kelly knew he had to call a game that maximized Ohio State's strengths. And Will Howard? He was on fire. The 311 passing yards Howard put up in this game were no fluke. It was a calculated attack on a Tennessee defense that had been one of the best all season. Kelly let Howard sling it. And boy, did he deliver. Ohio State's passing game was surgical, precise, and most importantly, effective. We did some things in this game that maximized what we have in terms of our strengths and minimized our deficiencies, Day said. And it wasn't just the offense that clicked. Ohio State's defense showed resilience. Even after the Michigan loss, they came out firing, with linebacker Cody Simon saying, "I'm super proud of our guys. Because it's not easy to go through a loss like that." The Buckeyes responded in the best way possible, with a statement win. Final thoughts. Ryan Day's moment to shine. So, what does all this mean for Ryan Day? Well, after that Michigan loss, it seemed like his job might have been on the line. But with a dominant performance against Tennessee, Day reminded everyone why he's one of the best coaches in college football. It's still a long road to the national title, but Ohio State has everything they need to make it all the way. If Day can lead the Buckeyes to a college football playoff victory, it would be a huge moment for him, one that could silence his critics and solidify his place as one of the best in the game. So, I'll leave you with this. Have a day. Buckeyes, have your day. And that's a wrap for today's video. What do you think? Is Ryan Day on the brink of a national championship? Can Ohio State go all the way? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more college football content just like this. I'll catch you in the next one. Folks, until then, enjoy the rest of your day. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the wild world of college football playoffs, and trust me, this is gonna be a ride you don't want to miss. So, if you're ready to laugh, cry, or question the very essence of your existence as a college football fan, then hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and let's get into it. Ohio State's blowout over Tennessee. What just happened? Okay, let's talk about that blowout win Ohio State delivered to Tennessee. If you missed it, don't worry, you're not alone. The Buckeyes took Tennessee to school. And by school, I mean a 42-17 crushing defeat that made all of us sit up and say, well, that escalated quickly. But seriously, Ohio State had us all asking two major questions. Why couldn't they play like this against Michigan? Are they back to being the favorites to win the national title? Now, let's break down this wild game and try to answer these burning questions. Ohio State's performance was a masterclass in what they can do when they actually show up. The offense was clicking, the defense was ferocious, and honestly, Tennessee was just a casualty of Ohio State firing on all cylinders. Ohio State's first half, pure dominance. Let me paint a picture for you. Ohio State had its first punt with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. That's right, folks, Tennessee didn't even get to see the ball much. Meanwhile, Tennessee's first completed pass didn't come until 6 minutes into the second quarter. At that point, the game was already 21-0 in Ohio State's favor. And all the Tennessee fans in the stands, those poor, shivering souls braving wind chills below 20 degrees, were left wondering what the heck just happened. You could almost hear the collective groan from all the Tennessee fans thinking, was this really worth the trip? Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka, the dynamic duo, were on fire, racking up 11 catches and nearly 200 yards between them. You think the Vols were prepared for that? Absolutely not. They were getting torched like a marshmallow at a campfire. And don't even get me started on Ohio State's defense, which had Tennessee's freshman QB Nico Iamaleava running for his life all night. It was like watching a cat chase a laser pointer. But the cat was a big, hungry Buckeye and the laser was a struggling Iamaleava. Ryan Day's aggressive game plan. Here's the thing, though, Ohio State didn't just win. They asserted dominance in a way that had even Ryan Day The coach, giving credit to his team for calling a much more aggressive game plan than we've seen before. After this win, the Ryan Day pressure cooker went from boiling to less boiling. But let's be real, there's still some heat on him after the Michigan debacle. But that's a story for another day. Day himself said it best: "You're defined by the way you handle adversity in life." And this was a massive adversity they were facing after the Michigan loss. The way Ohio State came out swinging sent a message that they're not done yet. What's next? A wild rematch against Oregon. Alright, hold on to your hats because things are about to get even crazier. Ohio State's next opponent? The Oregon Ducks, who are coming in hot after their thrilling win over the Buckeyes in October. You remember that, right? Oregon 32, Ohio State 31, and I'm not talking about a field goal win. No, we're talking about a heart-pounding finish that left Ohio State fans crying in their cereal. But now, 3 months later, Ohio State has a chance to redeem themselves. And trust me, this rematch is going to be a doozy. These two teams are a national title contender and a talent powerhouse, respectively, so you know it's going to be a showdown for the ages. The format controversy. Why are they meeting so early? Here's the catch, though. Should these two teams really be facing off so early in the 12-team playoff? Ohio State, ranked number 6, is facing number 1 Oregon in the quarterfinals. And we have to ask, is that fair? Because let's be honest, the playoff format this year is, well, a little wonky. The playoff system seeds the 4 highest-ranked conference champions as the top 4 seeds, which, while good for conference champs, throws the entire ranking system out of whack. This means teams like Ohio State, number 6 in the rankings, are getting stuck with teams like Oregon, number 1. And that's not ideal for the integrity of the tournament. The bigger question here, is the 12-team format really working? Or is it just making things more complicated than they need to be? Maybe we need to consider a better seeding system for future playoffs. A roundup of the other first-round games. No upsets here. Now, let's quickly talk about the other first-round games. Spoiler alert, there were no surprises. It was all chalk, meaning the higher-seeded teams won. Here's a quick breakdown. The ACC champion was knocked out by the SEC runner-up. The Big Ten's third-best team took down the SEC's third-best team. Notre Dame cruised past the Big Ten's fourth-best team. It was basically a bloodbath of blowouts, with the winners putting up a combined 145 points and the losers only managing to score 68. Does this mean teams like SMU and Indiana didn't deserve a spot in the playoff? Maybe, but the gap between the elite teams and the good teams was pretty obvious after these lopsided victories. Can Boise State and Arizona State spoil the party? But here's where it gets interesting. Boise State and Arizona State are both underdogs that could make a major impact. These teams, ranked number 9 and number 12, are facing off against Texas and Penn State. And let's just say they've got a lot of people rooting for them. If they can pull off the upsets, they'll make history and show the world that even underdogs can run with the big dogs. Looking ahead, Ohio State versus Oregon, the ultimate showdown. As we move toward the quarterfinals, we can't help but get excited about the Rose Bowl matchup between Ohio State and Oregon. This is what we were all hoping for, an epic game that could end up being a preview of the national championship. For Ohio State, this is a redemption story in the making. For Oregon, it's about proving that their win in October wasn't just a fluke. No matter who wins, this game is shaping up to be an absolute classic. And there you have it, folks. That's your breakdown of the first round of the college football playoff. Let me know what you think. Who do you have winning the rematch? Ohio State or Oregon? Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Who are you rooting for? Until next time, keep your helmets on and your snacks ready. We've got more playoff madness ahead. Thanks for watching, everyone. Catch you in the next video. And remember, keep cheering for your team, unless they're playing Ohio State. See